I think it's safe to say that most Gen Xers still in 2026 either think, and this might not be your case, but either think that they are one, too old. Gen X and boomers, I know it's annoying to group you guys sometimes, but anyone 45 and over, I have seen literally thousands of comments on my videos of people saying, A, that they think they're too old to work with brands and that that's going to be a negative factor for them in the content creation space. And then B, they still think that they need followers in order to work with these brands. And I'm going to put the kibosh on both of these beliefs because maybe you just don't know what you don't know. So I'm going to try to explain how you can work with brands as a 45 plus year old and how it's going to be actually a massive, massive advantage to you being 45 and over. My mom, by the way, is 65 and she works with brands in this way that I'm going to explain to you. And we do it together. It's super fun. I'll explain it in a second. But save this video if that's at all interesting to you and you're still watching this. You're like, what the heck? Had no idea. And your curiosity is piqued. Maybe save this video because it's going to be super helpful for you. And then tell me your age in the comments. If you're 45 and over, if you're under that, if you're like a Gen Z or millennial, you could just skip this video. It's not really about you at all. But tell me your age in the comments if you don't mind. And then also, I'm going to explain why you do not need followers to do what I'm going to tell you, this type of content creation. You don't need to be an influencer. That is not true. You can if you want to. If that's like what you want to do, you should do it. This is also not the video for you. But I'm going to explain something called UGC as the type of content creator that you're going to hopefully become in 2026. Okay, that was a mouthful. I tend to get long-winded. Sorry about that. But UGC, if you've never heard of it, stands for user-generated content. In a nutshell, UGC creators get paid to create content much like an influencer would, but instead of you posting it to your own socials, you're just gonna make the content, like, for example, short videos talking about, I don't know, a water bottle, or I don't know, even like your fireplace service company that comes out and fixes your fireplace, whatever it is. All these companies need a crazy amount of content for social media. So instead of them hiring you to post it on your own socials and rely on your followers like influencers, they just need the content. They need the videos, they need the pictures talking about their product or service or app, whatever it is they sell, and they need that for their own marketing purposes. They need it to run ads across social media. Some of these companies, you have no idea, if you're not in the marketing world, you have no idea that some of them are spending on the smaller side, tens of thousands of dollars every month. On the larger side, 7 figures a month on social media ads. If they're spending that much, that means they need an insane amount of content to run and test as all these social media ads across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google. They need content for their website. They need content to just literally post on social media as organic content that is never going to be ran as ads. I always like to tell people this because I think it's like so easy as a just everyday consumer to forget what goes on behind the scenes, behind like all these businesses. Say that a company that you maybe follow on social media, okay, they're posting between 1 to 2 times on the lower side per day on social media, okay? So that means they need on the lower side 30 to 60 new pieces of content, videos and pictures about their product, about their brand every single month. And what they are posting right now in May, they're not going to be posting in June because they need fresh new content to allow their audience, their followers to keep up with them and for new people to discover them. So I know that's super long-winded, but I just want you to understand that this is a massive, massive need. And I would say most, but probably 40% at least of companies are using and hiring UGC creators right now. There are tens of thousands of companies that hire UGC creators like myself. I've been doing this for almost 4 years. It replaced my 6-figure job in 2023. And then I've been teaching people this, specifically 45 plus year olds for the last couple of years. I've taught almost 15,000 Gen Xers, Gen Jones, and baby boomers how to do this because of my mom. And I'll explain that in just a second. But Again, tell me your age in the comments if you haven't already. I would love to know your current age as of today in the comments. And then if you do want to get started with this, I'm going to yap for literally 5 more minutes until it cuts me off. But if you do want to get started, I mentioned I've taught almost 15,000 people. That's inside my course. It's $87. If you do not want my course for $87, it'd be part of the best community ever, then that's okay. Just skip it. But if you go to my profile and click the Stan Store link, the course will be the first thing you see. Skip it if you don't want it. Zero pressure always from me. Below that course, though, is a link to grab a free UGC checklist that's going to help you get started. Like, you can reference it. There's even a video attached to it, so you can get like more of like a visual lesson on how to reach out to these companies. Super helpful. There's like almost 90,000 people that have downloaded this free checklist. So if you want it, it's yours. It is totally free. So anyways, back to age. By the way, I have so many videos. So if you want to follow me, hit the follow button. It might be helpful because I'll keep, probably popping up in your feed and reminding you to do this. What's been like so cool is that so many of my students that have decided to learn from me and take my course, so many of them have come from the corporate workplace or whatever, traditional corporate, whatever. And they've had this negative experience with their age as they've gotten older, obviously, right? Ageism is a massive thing in the workplace. And I think it's crazy and amazing and beautiful to see so many of my students who are, usually they're like 50 plus and they've experienced some ageism in the workplace. A lot of them have gotten laid off. A lot of them have been preparing for a layoff and like holding their breath. And it's been so cool to see them have this light bulb moment where they come from this place in the corporate setting where their age is a negative factor, and then they come into the content creation space where their age is such a positive factor. And I'm going to explain it. It almost like doesn't make sense that an age thing, besides the financials and companies having to pay like older people more money because of your experience. The thing is that it should be the same in the corporate workplace, but it's not. In the content creation space, your age, your life experiences, everything that you have gained in wisdom, in knowledge, in experience is such a massive benefit to these companies that want to hire you for content creation. So I'll just give you an example. My mom, I talk about my mom a lot. She is the reason me, a 35-year-old millennial, is teaching all these 45-plus-year-olds. And I was just in, Nashville. I know it's probably backwards to you, but I was just in Nashville last week and got together with 4 of my students who are also a part of this monthly membership, this club that I just launched. And we got together and all of them were either Gen X or on the cusp of, I think they were like all 40-something plus. And it was so cool to get together with them. So I just want to say, I was just thinking about that because of my hat, but anyways, super fun. So my mom is the reason I teach so many 45-plus-year-olds. We did a brand deal together and they were so excited to have my mom in the videos because she was more part of their demographic. I've told this story a million times. If you go back, go follow me because you'll see all these videos that I talk about this. But basically my mom is 65 and she's been a nurse for 45 years. So she's also a grandparent of 16 grandkids. So she's raised 5 kids. Like all these things that she's been through. She's also been a caretaker for her mom before she passed. And so all of these things that like a 20-something-year-old has never experienced, cannot like replicate in any way, all these years in life experience, all of that becomes leverage in the content creation space. Because when my mom gets on camera and she talks about having owned cats for 40 years and that she's tried all the litter in the world and she's found the best one, that is trust and authority and relatability. And that is why a cat litter company has hired us several times to create videos for them, and why my mom is the only one on the camera, because she comes from life experience and wisdom and authority, and that creates trust between the brand and the consumer. So when people see my mom talking about this cat litter, for example, they trust her and then they buy the product. And then we make money because they're like, whoa, these ads are working so great. Let's hire you guys again. And that's what's happened. So I just want you to know your age is your superpower. If you allow it to be in this content creation space, you're not too old to do this. In fact, you're at the perfect, like literally perfect time to do content creation, especially UGC. I hope you get started. Yeah, I really, really do. Because I think it could change your life, not to be dramatic. But yeah, okay, see you.